Well, coverage. City News at 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka in Accra. My name is Salom Adunu. Tonight I'm here with
Akosia Ochre.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes.
The Speaker, today I bow out, and I do so by introducing to you Mr. Alex Afenyomakin Kwamena, who takes over from me as the new majority leader. There's a day in my life that I never saw it coming.
Futu MP Afenyomakin takes over from Oseche Mensah Bonsu as majority leader of Ghana's parliament amidst an easy calm within the ranks of the governing party. What should be on his bucket list as the MPP hopes to break the 8. Also coming up, Yilo Krobo District Hospital in the Eastern region faces possible disconnection from the national grid over a 1.3 million cedi debt owed the Electricity Company of Ghana. More on this later. Still on Eyewitness News, persons with disability dispute claims by the Youth Employment Authority that some former toll workers have been employed by the agency. We'll hear from them shortly. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Tax analysts optimistic of positive outcome after audit firm KPMG presents findings on GRA SML deal.
There is more business in the next 50 minutes. Eyewitness News is live across the country on all our affiliates and around the globe at citynewsroom.com. Your comments are welcome via WhatsApp line 0549 986 996. And of course, we are live across our partner stations in the country. In the Western region, this is our Juniper 100.7 FM in Takwa, Sky Power 93.5 FM in Takrady, and Beach 105.5 FM also in Takrady. In the Bono region, this is Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In Ashanti region, Focus 94.3 FM and Orange 107.9 FM, both in the Ashanti region or Kumasi. In the Volta region, Revival 99.3 FM in Tajavu and VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi. In the Northern region, this is Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. And Upper East region, this is Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. And in the Upper West region, Tunson 97.3 FM in Wa. And also Jirapa 96.1 FM. You can follow me on Twitter at Salom Adunu. The hashtag, as always, is City Newsroom. Akosia will give us our very first story.
The former majority leader, Oseche Mensah Bonsu, has issued a rallying call to members of the majority caucus, urging them to extend the same level of support that marked his tenure as majority leader to the incoming leadership. His formal announcement of resignation in Parliament on Friday, February 23, came after previously notifying the caucus of his decision to bow out. Now, Chairman Sabonsu emphasized the importance of unity among the caucus. Let's hear him speak on the floor of Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, it was amidst the discussions that at a meeting of the caucus, which the President had requested, I tendered my resignation as majority leader in order to still the storm and facilitate peace and unity required for the party at this time. Mr. Speaker, that decision that I made was not within the presence of Parliament. This morning, I summoned the caucus meeting to formally announce to my colleagues that I have elected voluntarily to step down as the majority leader and, by that, leader of the House. Ahead of the meeting, the National Party had been informed and invited to this meeting that happened this morning. Speaker, the Majority Caucus has, over the past few days, been conferring and consulting with the National Party to fill the vacancy created in the leadership of the caucus, especially since the Honorable Cyril Malason, the first Deputy Majority Whip, has been nominated for ministerial position. At the caucus meeting this early morning, the caucus, by consensus, concluded that the Honorable Alexander Kwamena Afenyo-Markin, the Member of Parliament for Efutu, and until now the Deputy Majority Leader, should take the place of yours truly, Osechi Mensah, Member of Parliament for Swame, as the Majority Leader and Leader of the House, with immediate effect that is consequent upon this communication. The National Council of the New Patriotic Party, meeting this morning, has accepted this proposal. The Council, in consultation with the caucus, has further approved of the following members of Parliament to occupy the following respective positions. 1, MS Patricia PJ, MP for Asukwa. Asukwa in Kumasi, not Adansi Asukwa, as Deputy Majority Leader. Frank Anodompre, MP for Nsawam Adwajiri, retains his position as Majority Chief Whip. The Honorable Alhaji Habib Idrisu, the Member of Parliament for Tolong, goes one rank higher on the ladder and now assumes the position of First Deputy Majority Whip. And the Second Deputy Majority Whip's position is now to be occupied by the Honorable Alex Tete Jonibua, the Member of Parliament for Sefi Akontomra. Mr. Speaker, let me take the opportunity to thank you for the cooperation and collaboration that existed between you and I over the entire period that our paths crossed here in Parliament. As a leader, I've had to work with many of my compatriots on the other side of the political divide. Majority and minority leaders from the NDC, beginning with your good self, Right Honorable Alban Shumana Kingsford back then, even though we belong to different sides of the political spectrum. And the working relationship, Mr. Speaker, has translated into such close relationship that sometimes people begin to think that perhaps we are hiding something from the rest of the members of Parliament. But it's all to encourage a smooth transition of government business and indeed the course of the country in Parliament. I thank them all, including in particular those others who have been in leadership, close or expanded. Mr. Speaker, Parliament has given me visibility in many international fora. I've been the Africa Regional Chairman of the African Parliamentarians Network Against Corruption for 4 years. I've been the Vice Chairman of the Global Organization of Parliamentarians Against Corruption for 4 years. I've been an Executive Committee member of the Africa Regional Chapter of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association for 15 continuous years. I've been the Vice Chairman of CPA International for 3 years, unprecedented in the annals of the CPA International. I've been a chairman of one of only 4 committees at the IPU for 2 terms. I've been a member of the ECOWAS Parliament and leader of Ghana's representation. All these because the Parliament of Ghana has provided me the platform and supported me, and I'm eternally grateful to the Parliament of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, today I bow out, and I do so by introducing to you Mr. Alex Afenyo-Markin Kwamena, who takes over from me as the new Majority Leader.
That was former Majority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu. Now let's hear from the new Majority Leader Alexander Penyomaking, who affirmed his dedication to foster a collaborative atmosphere between the majority and minority caucuses.
Colleagues in leadership, colleague members of parliament, parliamentary staff, our friends in the media. Today is a day in my life that I never saw it coming. My journey in life has been very tricky. It's been rough, and sometimes it's as if there's going to be no light at the end of the tunnel. But today, I stand before you with profound humility and great honor to say that the party NPP has honored me to be the primus of this great chamber. Mr. Speaker, I take the opportunity here to share a few words. As a member of Efutu, a member of Parliament for Efutu, and a proud son of Winneba in the Central Region, and chairman in the Volta region of Ghana, my long journey to this podium, as you may be well aware, received a lot of setbacks. In my early days, I received a call from Honorable Obi Amon that leader was traveling all the way to Hanoi, Vietnam, and he was supposed to be part of the trip, but for some reasons, he could not make it. And he has requested that I join leader in his stead. Mr. Speaker, upon arrival in Hanoi, in one of the nights, Honorable Osei Mensah had a good discussion with me. He advised that I stay close to the standing orders. And he realizes that many people don't pay attention to the standing orders. He added that if you do it well and you discipline yourself, perhaps you may succeed me. You may never know. Mr. Speaker, when we got to Kenya for a long transit, we again had this conversation. And in this conversation, he repeated saying, today is the day. Honorable Minority Leader, let me assure you that we're going to have a time of bipartisanship. I want to assure you of my commitment. The situation is when you are playing number 5, you are the defender. You are supposed to be abrasive. But now as a striker, I cannot use that strategy. So there will be no more A at all. We are going to work together because the happiness and the unity of this house shall materially depend on me. And I cannot afford to allow rancor to prevail. Mr. Speaker, the venerable MP for Swami, Honorable Osei Mensah, it's an institution, no doubt. It's a big shoe I'm going to wear. And I recall Harun Eseku telling me that MPP is not easy to be a leader. And I know behind me are professors, doctors, lawyers, businessmen. They know it. It's going to be tough. But colleagues, I call on your cooperation. I call on your support. And I also Mr. Speaker, invoke the support and blessing of those ascended leaders of this House to endure me with such fortitude, not to fail in this hour of trial, but walk through the valley of the shadow of death and rise like the stars in heaven. Mr. Speaker, we've been struck with post-COVID consequences. We are having a situation in Ukraine and Russia where, Mr. Speaker, world trade is being disrupted. So no government is having it easy. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure my colleagues that together I will be committed into ensuring that we work hard to break the eight. Honorable Minority Leader, I just want to plead that in this hallowed chamber, let us do everything we can to promote democracy. Let us assure our people that we don't fight in this chamber. That in this chamber we discuss issues, we deliberate without personalizing it. I promise you that. And even as we go out there to talk to our people, let us make them understand that the essence of democracy is to discuss ideas. After all, both parties have had the opportunity to govern this country before. You are coming back seeking the mandate with your old records, which records we know. We are coming in with our existing records and our new visionary leader, which you know. So, Mr. Speaker, let's set out the issues and make sure that the right things are done. Let me thank you most sincerely for your kind audience. And please, colleagues, I would count on your cooperation. At all. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader Alexander Penyomakin speaking there. Now, the Minority Leader, Dr. Casey Latoforcing, has conveyed a sense of loss following Chairman Sabonsu's departure from his position as Majority Leader.
I thank you for the opportunity to bid our respected former colleague and counterpart from across the aisle, the Honorable former Majority Leader and a Member of Parliament for Swami, a befitting farewell as he officially exits the Majority front bench. So, Speaker, news of his unexpected resignation hit all of us on the night of Wednesday, 21st February 2024, as we continue to ponder over how this House will overcome the huge void that he has created by his untimely exit from leadership. We cannot help, Mr. Speaker, but to respect his decision to take a bow. Without a doubt, Right Honourable Speaker, the venerable former leader of this House will be fondly missed. Just like your good self, Right Honourable Speaker, your contemporary, the Honourable OKMB, Osei Chairman Sabonsu, has left a mark and a permanent footprint that will probably prove difficult to surpass in the annals of our legislation for years to come. I dare say, Right Honourable Speaker, that his knowledge and experience of parliamentary practice and procedures can be matched by very few members of Parliament. Having been a Deputy Majority Leader, Chief Whip, Majority Chief Whip, of course, Deputy Majority Leader, Leader and Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs, Minority Leader, Majority Leader, and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, he rose full cycle through all the ranks of both minority and majority front bench of this august House. Many include my good self, who attest to his leadership style, brilliance, rigor, and attention for detail, his unique, humane, and personable nature that has always commended by most people. Mr. Speaker, as he leaves the majority front bench now, towards his final bow. My earnest wish is that he will be kind to avail his wealthy experience and knowledge to members of this House from both sides to tap in. This House, by extension, the good people of Ghana, are exceedingly grateful. We thank selfless and patriotic service to the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, as I take my seat, I also wish to welcome and congratulate my colleague, my new colleague, and a friend, the Honorable Afenyo Makin, as he takes his seat as the majority leader. Mr. Speaker, no more AATO. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Dr. Kaisel Atoforsen is minority leader. Let's also hear from Speaker of Parliament Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbing, who gave his speech after that presentation from the minority leader.
Your leader has given you some indication. He's not my leader, he's your leader. And so please, patience, tolerance, and understanding. In politics, we agree to disagree. And we must conduct that disagreement in civility, in decorum, and in dignity. Now, I gave this opportunity, and I'm happy that all of you have been very candid and honest. What you have just stated is unknown to the public. They don't know that we work together as a family, that we help each other, that we counsel each other, all for the benefit of our people. We are all focused on the national interest. The way you stated it, I can tell you it will have effect and impact on national discourse. We are not at war. That is not what politics is about. It's about agreeing to disagree. It's about acknowledgement of our diversity, our differences. It's about thinking together, agreeing, accepting decisions together, and moving in the direction that we've all agreed to move. And so I'm happy that all this have been said, and we have a committee of assurances. Now, that committee of assurances is now not only for ministers, it also covers members, especially leaders. You have listened to them. They have given you assurances. We will make sure that they go by those assurances. And so I will not want us to continue because it's not the day for us to celebrate them. I've had a unique opportunity of being celebrated by this House on 3 occasions. And it's all in the Hansard. And it's going to be part of my publications so that you see how we sacrifice and committed ourselves to serve the nation. It's good for all of you to go this way. Buy your time. Don't be too over-ambitious. When God says, this is your turn, nobody can take it away from you. And so it has happened. And I'm happy that the transition has been done smooth. I think it's a very good precedent, and I want to call on the nation to continue to follow this good example.
Alban Bagbing is Speaker of Parliament.
All right, so one question that has arisen in all of this is what happens to the position of the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, which was one of the positions the outgone majority leader Sechi Mensah held, and whether indeed the new majority leader automatically assumes the role of leader of government business. Today, MP for Tamale North, after the speeches, posed that question. He wanted guidance from the speaker, and this was what ensued.
With the changes now, is it automatic that the new leader, Honorable Afenyo Martins, becomes automatically the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Leader of Government Business. So I see your guidance.
Honorable members, it's not for the House to determine who is leader of government business. It's for the government of the day to designate somebody as leader of government business. The person does not necessarily have to be the majority leader. The majority may not be in power. You can have a minority in power. The majority could be in power, but the government could. You have different people holding different portfolios that are designated as leader of government business in the House. It's not something we should discuss, and it is not for us to decide. I don't want to encourage you to go. You want to say something about it? I will allow him to share his experience with you. Yes, please.
Speaker, as you rightly said, you may have situations where the party in the executive may not have majority of seats in parliament. In that case, if they happen to be in the minority leader will be the leader of government business and not the majority leader. In this case, where the majority caucus is aligned with the party in government, the majority leader, in my absence, having left, is going to be the leader of government business. And of course, as majority leader, as leader of the House, to the extent that if you want one voice to speak for the House, he'll be the person. So he's the majority leader, leader of the House, and the leader of government business. The other one, with respect to the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, will be determined by the President.
Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, the designation read by your good self, the letter from the party read by your good self, and the designation by the immediate past leader of the House did not include the leader of government business. So, Speaker, the MPP may be the governing party, but they are not the government. And it is important for the government to designate someone as the leader of government business. As we speak now, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Afenyo Martin Kwamina is the leader of the majority and not the leader of government business. So, Mr. Speaker, the writing must be done. The government must communicate to you officially who the leader of government business will be. But as we speak now, he's the leader of the majority, but certainly not the leader of government business. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I don't want us to debate this matter, but I can give you a bite, but I don't want us to debate it. It's not for us to decide, but please say a few words.
Mr. Speaker, I'm just going to the standing orders. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to the standing orders. If you look at page 5 of our new rules book, leader of government business, leader of government business, I would invite my colleague, the minority leader, to go with me to page 5 of the rules of this House, where he will look at, that is the interpretation clause, respectfully. And he's not saying include, he says means. Leader of government business means the leader of the party or parties in parliament which form the government. At all, your question has been answered. This is it. No, it will be superfluous. It will be superfluous for the party to state that. It's been defined. Honorable.
So you heard the new majority leader, Kwamina Afenyo Martin, ending that interaction between, Osei Mensah-Bonsu, Speaker of Parliament, Mutala, and then to forcing on what really the position entails, government leader of government business, Minister for Parliamentary Affairs and all of that. But let's speak to an experienced member of the legislature, who is actually bowing out of the House and who has had some opinions or his own views on the happenings in Parliament in recent days. The Honorable Samuel Atacha, who is Member of Parliament for Abuakwa South. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. We know earlier in the week you said the timing of this reshuffle was problematic. Have you since revised your position?
I have not. I feel that
I think our connection to you is not the best. If you could restate the point.
Hello.
Yes. Apologies. Our connection to the Honorable Samuel Atacha is not the best. We're trying to reconnect with him and see if we can reach him on a better line. In the meantime, you can reach us, or you can your comments are welcome via WhatsApp line 0549986996. A number of your messages have come through. Alasan Hamdan from Nyohini South says it's clear former majority leader Sechi Mensa Bonsu has been booted out by President Akufo-Addo in Rambo style. But Chairman in Tamale says, please let me use your medium to wish the new majority leader in the House the best and God's guidance. There is a huge mountain for him to carry the entire majority caucus on, and I believe he will live up to the expectations. Alex Doing in London says, no long talk, this government is a failure. Akapo Jr. in Halfomim says, the outgoing leader has read unenviable credentials to Parliament and Ghanaians at large, but the question is, was he able to use his position to benefit the good people of Swami who sent him there? Absolutely no, you say. The people are still wallowing in poverty, you claim. Honorable Ayuba from Yagbon says, I'm not a member of Parliament, but I have learned a lot from Honorable Sechi Mensa Bonsu, the former majority leader, and he will definitely miss his leadership in Parliament. Less than 10 months of the MPP to leave office, reshuffling their front bench is unnecessary. In fact, Honorable Sechi Mensa Bonsu is indeed an institution. Babamu from Tamale says, congratulations once again to the new leadership of the majority caucus. I think the dust has been settled now. Good evening. Francis says, must it take someone to die or retire for nice words to be said about the person? Just surprised what's being said about the former leader. Daniel Akpaliok in Sanema says, no matter how they reshuffle their leaders in Parliament, Ghanaians are poised to show them the exit come December. We have suffered injustice, abuse of power, and very serious economic difficulties under their watch. Ghanaians are wise and won't give in the deception foothold. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. It does appear we are having difficulties with the line to the Honorable Atacha, and of course we understand he's on the road, and I'm sure the connection along the line is not been the best. I'm still on this matter. Political scientist or political analyst Dr. Richard Amwakoba says Sechi Mensa Bonsu's resignation as a majority leader will significantly impact both the majority caucus and the party as a whole, accusing President Akufo-Addo of forcing him to step down. Dr. Amakoba suggests that the party shouldn't have treated him in that manner, taking into consideration his long service in Parliament. Dr. Richard Amwakuba is on the line, or we're trying to reach him, and then we will bring you some more information on this. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We will take a short break. We'll return, and we'll bring you all those interviews. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa!
Bobo, so how your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that.
Yes, so
somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched.
Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz?
No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer.
Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency.
Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman Mane.
Quartz. keep your engine younger for longer.
Do you care enough about your business? Then it's time to make a transition to renewable energy and energy efficiency solutions. Visit the AGI Energy Service Center and talk to us. AGI ESC cares about business growth. That is why we're here to assist industries cut production costs through energy savings. We provide you with solar feasibility studies, energy audits, energy efficiency trainings, and financial advisory services. Visit agiesc.com for more information or call us on 0507 977 902, an initiative of the Association of Ghana Industries in partnership with the German Development Corporation, implemented by GIZ.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We're still in Parliament on the matter of the reshuffle of the majority bench. And as you may be aware by now, Osechi Mensah-Bonsu has bowed out and has handed over to the member from Efutu, Afenyo-Markin. And there's been some changes on the majority bench, as you may know. Patricia Page is now deputy to Afenyo-Markin as deputy majority leader. Frank Anodompe remains majority chief whip, deputized by Habib from Tolong, and it continues like that. But a few people have expressed some difficulty or some difficulty really with the situation. One of such persons is Atacha, who says that the timing is wrong. We know that Jose Owusu was also not pleased with the turn of events. Indeed, he did say that no such change was contemplated, only to have it that the following day the man himself resigned, stating in the voice you just heard that the president required of him to do so. And also now Dr. Richard Amakoba, who is a senior, who's a political analyst and one time, contender for the party's chairmanship position, is saying that Osechi Mensah-Bonsu was not treated well. Let's interrogate this further. He joins us on the line. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Your view is that Osechi Mensah-Bonsu, having served Parliament this long, has not been treated well. Why do you say so?
Well, long service to your country is not epitomized by really sacking, or being forced out, if you want to be polite. Because that's what happens. If you've done well, you should be celebrated. You should be thanked, you say. You should be able to say proper farewell to your colleagues in the parliament. That's not what happened.
But he did so today. I mean, he had time to read a speech and he thanked everybody who helped him, etc. He said farewell. That's what he said. And indeed, people said nice things about him. And he himself in that address said that he voluntarily resigned. Maybe he's come to the end of the road. I mean, he's come to the end of the road and it was time for a new person to take over.
If what he's saying is all true, that's not how it should be. If you have long serves like this, the longest serving MP, there has to be some form of fanfare to say goodbye to you. All over the world, that's how it's done. In some places, your comrades will come and bow before you and say goodbye, thank you, something like that. Today, he's speaking as a team player. Doesn't want any division, further division because of him. So he came to make amends. So he's speaking like that. But you listen to others, that's not how it is. He was told to step down before he went to the meeting, you say. And he didn't want to roll for further, so he said, okay, I resign. But it shouldn't be like that.
But,
it looks like the president wanted to reach into Parliament to decide how things should be over there, and they resisted. But the president cannot fire the majority leader from Parliament because he won elections to go there. You can only fire him or push him out from being Minister of Parliamentary Affairs. That one, the president appointed him there for...
Which he hasn't done. So if your argument is anything to go by, where the president has the direct role to play, as in relieving him of that position, He hasn't done that. And in the case of the position of the majority leader.
What are you talking about? He hasn't done that.
No, I mean, he's not relieved him of the.
How you say he hasn't done that?
No, he has
what
not.
Are we talking about?
No, as far as we know, he still remains Minister for Parliamentary Affairs.
For how long?
No, but that's the fact as we speak.
So what was he forced out of? What?
No, he said he voluntarily resigned. So I'm not sure whether he was forced out or not.
Don't we have sense to know what is going on? Is you only go by what he says? Are we robots? Listen to his own colleagues. Atasia will tell you this is not right. Joe White will tell you. So what are we talking about now? Are we children?
Unless, of course, you are suggesting that the Osechi Mensah is not being honest with Ghanaians by saying that he voluntarily resigned. He may not be happy, but
want to ruffle feathers. It's appropriate because it's a politician. There's already division in the party. You want him to add on to it? So
let's go on your tangent now. Why will you think the president will want such an influential person in Parliament out if what you're saying is anything to go by?
He wants to have a stamp even on the Parliament as he's doing now. Who is picking Baumia's campaign team? Who is it? Is it Baumia or the president? Who is it? Is it his campaign team?
No, Baumia, as far as you know, is the one picking his team.
Really? So he picked all the people from Eastern region, most of them from Eastern region, none from the North. What's going on here? This is what Baumia did, not so. When they started this deal, Osechi Mensah was in the forefront of Baumia's team. So he was fully supporting him. Why would he remove him abruptly like that? If for any reason at all, let him finish his term. Let this parliament come to an end peacefully. He could still be campaigning for them, but he'll still be majority leader and minister of parliamentary affairs. No problem, no division, no rancor. This is not what happened. And we cannot go by what they say or what somebody else says in order to bring smoothness in this deal. We have to look through it. You see, it makes no sense for this to happen. If you talk to many of the elders, those who have experience, they'll tell you the same thing, not just what they are saying.
I see. You are saying so because you say if Baumia had picked his own team, he would have a lot more notness in the team. I find that quite problematic because Baumia is seeking to lead Ghanaians, not just notness. But that claim is even problematic or not accurate because we have persons like Dr. I'm just pointing out the facts.
I'm here to argue you. If you know the stuff, why not you tell the people?
No, we are interrogating the argument respectfully, sir.
What are the notness?
So, for example, we have Dr. Ibrahim Anyas, who is deputy to the presidential campaign. We have Mr. Salifu Said. We have Dominic Nitiwul. We have Akbar Komeni. And quite a number of people in the team.
Many of these people are Kufuor's people. That's what I'm saying. Not just Northness. He said he's his own man. You cannot wait until the final day of the election to become your own man. It starts now. You pick your people you are going to work with. That's what I'm telling you. If you want to be your own man, you start right now. Not wait till the one day before the election before you become your own man. How do you do that?
So
the people you pick speaks to what you want to do, the way you say things, the program of action you are going to have. All of it is what makes you your own man.
I see.
What is it then?
What's your view on the argument that they are going into an election, a very difficult election? They need new energy, new ideas. Osechi Mensah is not returning to Parliament, so perhaps they need a younger person who is hungrier, and they found that person in somebody Osechi Mensah himself. Had groomed, Afenyo Markin, and he is the one taking over. He ticks or checks all the boxes. What's your view on that argument?
Well, parliamentary affairs are a bit different, not really so important when it comes to campaigning. The MPs may go out and campaign for him if he happens to be in their constituency and so forth. But issues of leadership in Parliament must be done by parliamentarians. By parliamentary rules, that's how it should be done, not by the executive. But Osechi Mensah took the position of Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and put himself under the president. This is what happened. So today, when the president comes and says, okay, you are fired, and he wouldn't want to be just a member of Parliament and no longer a minister. So he quit. This is what went on. He's trying to be polite. Can't we see through it?
I see. What do you think is the consequence of this reshuffle then?
Well, it's not really reshuffle. I mean, if the leader has stepped down, people must move up. And this is what happens most of the time. The deputy becomes the key person, and they move up like that. And this is pretty much what they've done. So there's no surprise there, you know.
But what will be the consequence of this movement?
Well, it remains to be seen because it's quite new. It's quite new. It's one thing being deputy, it's quite another being in charge. And so let's see how the new guy does, Afoko Martin does, and then we'll see where he's going, whether he's going to be successful or not. Well, pretty much, it's not a big deal, you understand. It's not only the one who decides the cases. They get together, they talk together, and they decide. Even picking the leadership, they are supposed to do it themselves. In most countries, no outsiders come in. Parliamentary business belongs to parliamentarians.
But the party obviously plays a role in that.
Well, the only way the party plays a role is talking to its members before they go to parliament to take that decision. You understand? The party can advise them, we think you should vote for so and so and so and so. That's it. If they get there and the members think that that is not appropriate, they won't vote for that person. And there's nothing the party can do. And that's how it should be. The party should not be under tremendous influence from the MPs, from the party. No. Parliamentary affairs must be handled in parliament. If the party wants to have some influence, you talk to your members ahead of time before they go to parliament to take effect of what they want to do. That's how it should be. Not the party reaching to parliament to decide who should do this and who should do that. No.
I see. We've seen Afenyo Markin in the last few years and the way he's assisted Osechi and, his own record in the House, etc. Do you have confidence that he's able to lead the majority side in this difficult parliament where we have 137 members?
Well, that remains to be seen because Afenyo Markin is a bit boisterous than Osechi in Sabos. And he will very soon find out that that attitude doesn't go very well with being the leader itself. Because at times you have to meet your colleagues on the side. Make some agreement ahead of time before you talk. Compromises, that's what I'm talking about. So he will learn soon enough. He will learn. He has no choice but to learn.
Very well. Thanks so much, Dr. Richard Amakuba, for speaking to us. Dr. Richard Amakuba is a political analyst, and he was just assisting us analyze the happenings in Parliament. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Now, the Ghana Toll Workers Association has denied reports by the Youth Employment Agency suggesting it has employed some former toll collectors. The agency yesterday announced the recruitment of 282 people living with disabilities, including 90 former toll booth operators. The CEO of the YEA, Kofi Jabin, who announced this, said it was an approach by the government to reduce the high rate of unemployment among persons with disability. Now, the secretary for the Ghana Toll Workers Association, Edward Duncan, joins us on the line to help us appreciate really what the matters are. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Is it your case that not even a single one of your members, persons living with disability, have been engaged or employed by the Ghana Employment Agency after the whole debacle or the whole issue about the toll booths occurred?
Good evening, my boss, for having me. Good evening to your listeners as well. Well, first of all, let's state that we're about 800 toll booth workers, former toll booth workers, and who were promised that we're going to be reassigned. And then also there's another promise that we want this conversation to be had. It shouldn't be swept under the carpet. That we are going to be paid a monthly salary until we are reassigned. Now, yesterday we saw in the media space that, like you rightly said, YEA, the government claims that through YEA it has employed some 99 of PWDs who used to work at the various toll booths. We wish to state that even though we do understand or accept that the government is taking steps to, as it were, solve or fulfill its promise of reassignment, it is not true that those 99 people have been engaged. What is true is that they have gone for interviews. Now, as to whether they will be employed or not is another matter altogether. They have not been given any form of employment letters.
How long ago were these interviews, or did they attend these interviews?
They started yesterday, and even today, I heard that some of them were slated for today. So for the CEO to come out and say that 99 have been employed is not entirely true. They have started the process. They have gone for interviews for them to be employed. What baffles us is that since this has been coined as trying to fulfill the government's promise to former toll booth workers, out of that 282 number that was quoted, and 99 are former toll booth workers. Where from the rest that makes up the 282? Where from there? How did they get on board what has been promised former toll booth workers? And then also about 800 of us, like I earlier said, former toll booth workers. What's going to happen to all of us? What has happened is that some of the persons living with disability who were working legitimately under the toll regime were people who did not have secondary education. Even with their GSS level of education, they were okay working at the toll booth. This module that came sidelined all of them, those with the GSS level, sidelined them, and the door was open for only people who had the minimum of SHS qualification. So that section of disabled or PWDs who did not have SHS have also been put aside, and nothing has been said about this. The unfortunate thing in the posture of the government is that initially, when all these things happened, they were engaging Ghana Toll Workers Union, which is us, the union, us who used to work for the various toll booths. The government was engaging us through the Ministry of Roads and Highways, the Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways, and other government, people in authority. But as we kept pressing for making the demand for the promises that was made to us, which is the salary arrears and then the reassignment, at a point in time, they shifted, the government or the authorities shifted their focus and started dealing with the Ghana Federation of Disabled. Ghana Federation of Disabled, even though there were persons with disability who were working at the toll station, that is not the right agency for the government to be dealing with when it comes to matters of toll booth workers. The right people to be dealing with is the Ghana Toll Workers Union.
I see. Yes, but before that, you said that government promised to be paying your monthly salaries, which I think government is still doing, right? So as you speak, end of January, you got paid the same amount of money you were paid whilst you were doing the work. Now that you are at home, the same money is still coming to you?
No.
They've stopped paying contrary to the promise?
Yes, they stopped paying. What they did was that in 2021, November, if you recall, we rightly recall, November, the closure happened. 17th November, I will never forget that date. 17th December, and it happened. And then they actually paid the November and December together for the 2021. But from January 2022 up to as I'm talking to you now, nobody has been paid a single cedi. But this is a promise that was captured.
So do you term that as arrears owed you by government, or have you had conversations on that, and what has government been telling you?
Initially, when we started engaging the government and the authorities, including the Minister for Roads and Highways, Honorable, and even as reiterated by the then Deputy Majority Chief Whip, I forgot the name.
Is it Habib from Tolon? Yes.
Habib Ikisu. Reiterated when we presented our petition in Parliament. He said that the government is taking steps to pay us a monthly allowance for upkeep until they find us alternate livelihoods. And with the closed doors meeting that we've had with the Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways, Honorable Amakwata, he has also said it on countless occasions that the government is going to pay us. So we know that the government owes us because the promise was that we will pay you until we reassign you. So until that reassignment happens, the government owes us. And then also, let's make this point also clear. I mean, those of us who used to work with the private, because I was a private contractor, I was handling about 20 of the major tolls in the country. Now, we kept engaging them as well, alongside engaging the Ministry of Roads and Highways. And somewhere in June 2022, they gave us a letter of termination of employment because they felt that the government was not fulfilling its part of the budget because the salary or the pay was supposed to go through them because they were paying us. So it was supposed to go through them to be given to us to pay it into our accounts. But because it wasn't forthcoming, they couldn't hold the fund for government anymore. So they had to terminate our employment. So, I mean, granted that we are going to go by paperwork and by strict law, not by promises, not by words that were said. What evidence we have is that our termination of employment took effect in June 2022. So what it means is that from January 2022 to June 2022, we were legally employed by the Tolls and Routes Management Limited, which was contracted by the government to collect tolls for them. So legally or on paper, the government owes us from January 2022 to June 2022 if they will not go by their promises that they made to us.
Very well. We want to thank you so much for making time to speak to us, and I'm sure your concerns as raised will be addressed by the appropriate quarters. Thanks so much. Edward Duncan is Secretary of the Ghana Toll Workers Association. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We'll take a short break. When we return, Akosia Ochri will be here again with City Business News. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa!
Bobo, so how your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you. Can feel better energy. Can't touch this.
Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that?
Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz?
No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer.
Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency.
Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chema.
Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year. Only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfit.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data, or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN Just For You. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique Just For You package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News and Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. I am Akosia Ochri. Let's settle for details of our stories now. Tax analyst Jeffrey Okanse is hopeful of a positive outcome of findings from the audit firm KPMG contracted by government to investigate the revenue assurance contracts between the Ghana Revenue Authority and the Strategic Mobilization Limited SML. Or the audit findings on the transaction involving the two institutions is expected to be delivered to President Akufo-Addo today. In an interaction with City Business News, the tax analyst said, although he is against the decision to outsource the audit work to a private firm, he trusts the professionalism.
Technically, I'm hopeful that the report, I am not doubting the competence of KPMG of doing a good work. And for that reason, I will be counting on their professionalism and their firm hands at doing a good audit and a good report system that you can trust KPMG for. So I'm hoping they will bring out a very professional work. That said, I'm also on the second note looking at the fact that it was not necessary for us to even go into the deal itself in the first place already.
Jeffrey Okanse is a tax analyst. Now, as the December 2024 general election approaches, pressure is mounting on the government to prioritize critical issues such as price stability, a resilient currency, and a conducive business environment for the private sector. Or economist Dr. Patrick Isumain emphasizes that addressing these concerns is crucial amid economic headwinds. Here's economist Dr. Patrick Isumain highlighting the urgency for Ghana to address its economic challenges.
I think we have to think about the inflation, fighting the inflation longer term. And we have to understand that the inflation we see is a consequence of difficulties within the economy. So we shouldn't get too fixated on trying to fight the inflation per se. If we rebuild the economy and it's stronger, then prices will stabilize. If we just focus on trying to fight the inflation, we might take some short-term measures that might have negative long-term consequences. So by that I mean, let's focus on boosting our investment in food.
Economist Dr. Patrick Isumain speaking there. The Food and Beverages Association of Ghana has warned that the cost of food will surge in the upcoming months if the government fails to address the escalating inflation rates in the country. In January 2024, Ghana experienced a marginal uptick in inflation, reaching 23.5% following a 5-month period of deceleration. General Secretary of FABAG, Samuel Ato Agri, in an interview with City Business News, expressed concern over the government's reluctance to review burdensome taxes and also reduce import duties.
If you look at the food inflation, it's still very high. It hasn't dropped in any way. It keeps on going up. And what I see, because they've not taken any measure to make some changes in that area in terms of the import duties that we have, the city, and then also the taxes that we've been paying. Nothing has been done. So with the food sector, you see that all the indications are that they keep on going up. And this is where my fear is, that if we are not careful, in the middle of the year, we are going to see further increase in that area. So it's that time that we'll do something drastic.
Samuel Ato Agri, General Secretary of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Now, the Peasants Farmers Association of Ghana is urging the government to prioritize investment in 6 key staple crops to reduce over-reliance on imports. The association believes this step will not only boost the agricultural sector, but also contribute to the overall economic transformation through agriculture and industrial growth. Here's the president of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Wepia Awal Edugwala.
The Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana would like to add its voice to calls by some research institutions for government to invest in the 6 staple crops, namely rice, maize, soya bean, tomatoes, cassava, and cowpea for agriculture and industrial transformation. Reports indicate that Ghana spent over $2.5 billion on food imports in 2019, and the figure may even be higher at the moment. Ghana imports fresh tomatoes from Burkina Faso at a cost of about $120 million.
President of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Wepia Awal Edugwala. Now, the inability of local businesses to properly prepare documentations is hampering progress in the application for tax exemptions. Now, this is according to the exemptions unit of the Finance Ministry. Principal Budget Analyst and Head of Exemptions at the Ministry, Emmanuel Edu Maji, Mensah, in an interview with the media, highlighted the need to address inadequacies in the preparation of tax exemption applications.
Is actually do not take the pain to prepare their documents. They have difficulty preparing the documents that is required to go through the process. And because of that, applications are submitted and you cannot actually work on them because they are not they don't come with business proposals or the business plans, what the law requires them to present. They don't do that. And because of that, you are not able to advance their documents through the system. And then one other observation is that people tend to rely on personalities instead of focusing on what is required of them to submit. They rely on big names in the country, thinking that once they mention the big names, they are okay. So really, that is one of the areas that need to be addressed.
That was voice of Emmanuel Mensah, who is Principal Budget Analyst and Head of Exemptions at the Ministry of Finance. And that's how we wrap up this week's edition of City Business News and Eyewitness News. It was brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. I am Akosi Aotre. Up next is Point Blank.
Hello, Linda. You won't believe what I am planning next. I want to start my postgraduate degree, buy a car, and build my dream home. But you know what's stopping me?
What's that, Mike?
Money, oh. That be my biggest wahala.
Oh, you are sorted, Cry. With a GCB Big Move personal loan promo, you can borrow up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours.
Like, seriously? How do I qualify?
Yes, it's available to all GCB salary account holders. Plus, you get a 2-month grace period before you start to pay back.
Susket, I'm opening an account with GCB now.
Get a personal loan of up to 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours. Call 0800-422-422 or visit your nearest GCB branch today to fund your next big move as we celebrate 70 years of greatness. T's and C's apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
I'm afraid. Yeah. Media sambisanda mo. Eti amratia no. Mu wan pa na tumi fi na mo bodom pe mo mana yakono.
Eye kwabna.
Na mu honsu na tumi just mali me maye ni nyina de.
Eye kojo.
En kro. Ko bring tumi wi na bodom pe mo sense o yin super accident eba. Aye den ban ni do braye. Po si echi na mo ban na sem mana ho de ne. Sa ani na kudwo nso yin super accident chako. Na no ne de e ma wo se wo ye krejen fita. Na wotimi asiri bedwo ma na feel you.
Ey kojo. Sa.
Yeah. Pepsodent Eba and a Pepsodent Charcoal. Afedie. Ya kono natural.
FTIJ Trading Katuyatu.
City TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV. City TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. City TV, it's your world.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
20 minutes to the top of the hour. Welcome to Point Blank on Eyewitness News. My name is Selom Adonu. Tonight on Point Blank, we bring you an interview with former chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the Honorable Freddie Blay, on happenings in the New Patriotic Party. Of course, the party has been in the news for the past week for various reasons. But before that, the National Invitational Students Athletics Championship, NISAG, originally scheduled to have started from tomorrow, is being postponed indefinitely to make way for the All-African Games, which will be staged at the same venue, the University of Ghana Stadium. The event, as you may know by now, has been put together by Citi TV and Ghana Athletics. The announcement again is that NISAG, which is the National Invitational Students Athletics Championship, put together by Citi TV and Ghana Athletics, has been indefinitely postponed to make way for the All-African Games. So we're bringing you updates on the new dates. So in the meantime, let's hear Freddie Blay in that interview with my colleague, Hansen Ajiman.
Campaigns as a member of parliament, going for election, and of course also as chairman of, in the capacity of as a chairman of my party, I have a rough idea of what it is. That one is, when you say you are an advisor, you take a global view of the campaign, see the conduct of its various committees and individuals, how they are conducting the campaign. You monitor it, you listen to what others are saying. You'll be in a position to appreciate what's happening if you have the opportunity. It's not only the candidate that you will advise, but you may get in touch with the individuals involved and have some small conversation or discussion with them. And you suggest what you believe will help the campaign. That will be the form. Mind you, those who have been considered as advisors are particularly the two top persons involved. That is the current president and the former president, and a few others who have been mentioned. Will be busy normally, and they wouldn't be almost always on it, but they will observe, they will listen, and then if there are suggestions they will make in a very diplomatic way or effective way. They will suggest it to the candidate.
We know this is not the first time the NPP is having an advisory committee as part of its campaign structure. But would the committee often than not be speaking with one voice? As in, would the views of the committee to the campaign team and to the flag bearer be streamlined in one way, or any of the people in the committee at work can reach out to their campaign team or the flag bearer and offer advice?
I believe that will be the form it will take. It will not be that a committee will meet as a body. Look, I don't have an idea what it is, but if it becomes necessary, why not? But I don't believe that will be the form it will take. Individuals, they move, they play a role of moving from one place to the other as they normally do. Or where they are, a lot of people get in touch with them, and things are going the way they think will yield good results. They will guide or urge the candidate and his team to do exactly that. On the other hand, if things are not moving the way they expect it, or they hear that things are not moving the way it should, they will feel free to call the candidate, get in touch with the candidate. And I will say that even, as I earlier on pointed out, individual members of various committees can easily be reached, and a discussion can take place as to how things should be organized.
Should I take it that the committee, since the inauguration, have not started work in the strict sense of it?
Which committee are you referring to?
The advisory committee.
Well, it hasn't been inaugurated as such. It's been announced. For example, it's been announced, and it's not that they will inaugurate it. Maybe the various committee will be announced, but I don't think the advisory committee itself will be inaugurated as such. But maybe as the president, as and when he feels that we should meet, he will beckon us to meet. As and when he thinks we should meet, we will maybe assembly at the home of the former president, President Kumku, or even at the president's house, if need be. And then we will discuss what ought to be done, what advice to give, whom to get in touch, how to monitor, and review what is happening. I believe that is a form this campaign would take.
I ask this question because we've observed that two key important decisions have been made since the announcement of the various committees. One has been the decision to make the leader of the majority side in Parliament the head of the manifesto committee, and also the appointment of various subcommittee heads for the purpose of drawing up the manifesto. Did the advisory committee or anybody in the advisory committee, or particularly you, have any role to play in any of these decisions?
Listen, you don't want me to openly discuss the strategy of the party in respect of their campaign. No, I wouldn't do so. But there have been a lot of consultation between the candidate and individual members and maybe groups within the party. And that's the way it's going. And I believe it's yielding good results. It's a strategy. We are preparing towards a vigorous campaign. And we will take certain decisions that he will take certain decisions that he thinks will help move the campaign.
Now, this brings us to the conversation in Parliament. You make a crucial change like this. Your leader becomes chairperson of the manifesto committee. His deputy takes over. You have two people introduced to the leadership bench because one has been nominated as a minister. You've been in Parliament before. In the lead up to a general election, how crucial is the role of leaders of various caucuses in the national campaign in various constituencies?
Come again.
So I'm saying that for the parliamentary primaries, does leaders of a caucus, aside campaigning in their respective constituencies, play any role in the other constituencies of their members?
Why not? Quite often the leaders find a way of playing several roles. The advice, as I have pointed out in some cases, the leader in Parliament, if you are finding it difficult as an individual pursuing your campaign or meeting some problems or challenges, you definitely get in touch with him, and if there is any suggestion he will make, or if there are suggestions he will have to make to you, or if there's some help, or raising resources, or advising party supporters or some people who are resourceful to come to your aid, one way or the other, they will do it. I think it happens quite often.
Could that be the reason Osei Mensah Bonsu is taking off, because he's decided to voluntarily not contest this time?
Obviously, he's already decided that he wouldn't contest. And even before that decision, Semensa Gunsu has been playing quite a significant role in the campaign of the candidate, Dr. Bawumia's campaign. You could see he's been going around, particularly to Ashanti region with him, and rallying some of the members of parliament towards that. As he mentioned, he wants us to break the 8, and it's not leaving any stone unturned to ensure that it happens. Before, during, and after, definitely he will be useful. He has tremendous experience and has seen a lot of campaigns and elections. So definitely his role will be very significant.
So those who say that he's been moved from his leadership role because he's not contesting in his constituency are not making good guesses or arguments.
That I don't believe that it's been moved. Mind you, the term is not ended. He was elected for a period of 4 years, and he's going to remain a member of parliament for that time. It does appear to me that it may be necessary for him to play other roles towards breaking the 8, and that may be the reason why it's been decided, or we have decided, the party has also endorsed it, that let him play that role, and let others also who may not have too much on their hand, assume his role. So it's been decided, and we are okay with it for now.
Processes leading to his resignation and subsequent appointment of the person of Alexander Penyumakin have not been that smooth. We saw a press statement or a press address by Joseph Osuewusu, who said that there was no contemplation of removing or even restructuring the leadership in Parliament. Subsequent to the resignation, he has indicated that he's disappointed at that. Atachia has also indicated that if it is not handled appropriately, it may affect the unity of the caucus in Parliament, or it may affect key government business in Parliament. That's what actually he mentioned. And based on all these comments, some analysts have indicated that it might cause disunity. Are these concerns valid?
Definitely concerns raised by some leading members in Parliament should not be taken for granted. It's important that any change may not be that smooth, because the people who may wholeheartedly agree to it, others would think it's not necessary, and that things should have been left just like that. And for the caucus, maybe there was a little hiccup in terms of communication or rallying everybody else to be part of that decision, and others might have expressed some disagreement over it. But on the whole, it's been quite smooth. And unity is key in Parliament. Unity within the party is key. Parliament should align with the party, and indeed with the presidency, as it is, for a smooth transition towards our breaking the 8. And we should be alert. And individuals who are in Parliament, who are key, I would say, key members of the caucus, parliamentary caucus in Parliament, express any doubt or, I won't say disagreement, but concern about what we are doing and how things are being done. As I said, we need to have communication smoothened and ensure that we are all adhering towards ensuring that we put up a good front, a good organization, and a machinery towards the prosecution of the campaign. But be it as it may, the party had decided that this is the way we want to go. And I think we should allow things to flow.
Some think that Alexander Penyumakin is a perfect replacement to Osei Mensah-Bonsu. Do you believe so?
Why not? He's been a deputy leader in parliament, quite vocal also, and can chew gum and walk in a straight line at the same time. What I mean is that you could on his feet think and argue, and he's a very nice personality in parliament. He can deal with his people on a very easy term. Parliament need not, it's not a classroom. Parliament is not an organization that the leader blows a whistle and everybody should form a long line behind him. You need to persuade them because they are from individual constituencies and from different backgrounds. And therefore, they must also look the way you want to look. In some cases, it's you need to cajole them. In some cases, you need to browbeat them. In some cases, you need to persuade them. You need to use all factors to ensure that your leadership will have it easy. At this time that we have a very thin majority, indeed, it's almost on equal terms with the NDC. The leader must rely on all kinds of versatility in ensuring that the party is united, if the caucus is united in parliament, they are aligned with the party and aligned also with the, more importantly, with the Jubilee.
To a former majority leader, Abraham Osei Edu, who argues that per his understanding of the new standing orders, political parties, Tema West, he used to be a very good friend.
Yeah, we were together on the front bench when we were in parliament.
He's saying that the new standing orders, he believes that the role of political parties have been ousted.
Well, the standing orders had been crafted by members of parliament themselves, in some cases in consultation with the party and so, but mainly the leadership, as it used to be, that the leadership would draw up the standing order to guide them. They are the masters of their own rules and regulations, subject to the constitution, of course. Leadership has to take an alignment with the political parties. It's a bit delicate, and it's very important that they should keep. Mind you, the party in MPP, for example, the party is aligned with Parliament, and or Parliament is aligned with the party, particularly the leadership or the caucus. Now, you can't take any decision, although the Constitution specifies, I'm talking about the party, because it specifies that it is the party that will appoint, so to speak, or select, I don't want to say appoint, select the leadership of Parliament. Ordinarily and invariably, it is in consultation with the leadership of Parliament or the caucus itself. If that is not aligned, it will create problems. Because why not? It's only when the beginning of the term that the party itself would not know which role each individual has. But it's a guesswork, and therefore you put people who have played role in the effort towards the elections, and immediately after the election, then of course, among the leadership or among whatever it is, the decision will be taken as to who should be selected to be the leadership of Parliament. But invariably, particularly if members of Parliament remain there for a while, and this has been for a while, quite a number of them, greater percentage of members of the caucuses will remain, although there will be change. You take decisions affecting them to who will lead them so that they will be behind the leadership. It's always important for the party to consult some leading members or known members, opinion leaders within the caucuses. More so when quite a number of them may be appointed as ministers. Those who remain and are taking some roles within the leadership, you need to talk to them. If you don't do that, the party, like a train, will be derailed because there will be disagreement here and there. And it is important always to keep a united front in Parliament. So I will urge our party members, I will urge our leaders in the party, and of course, even more importantly, the Jubilee House, that we must always be sensitive to the feeling and be in constant touch, consult the leadership or opinion leaders within our caucuses in Parliament. That will make any change, no matter how it is intended, be smooth in Parliament.
So that was Freddie Blay, former chairman of the New Patriotic Party, speaking to my colleague Hansen Ajiman on Point Blank tonight. This is how we end the show. Show produced by Nana Kobna Wilson and Beverly in London. Earlier you heard Akosi Otri. Technical assistance provided by Daniel Squashi. Social media support by Daniel Abugri. Join me tomorrow, same time, tomorrow at 9 a.m. on The Big Issue as we discuss the topical issues for the week. My name is Selom Adonu. Up next is Sports Panorama. Have a good evening.